Fyre 2 really isn't about the past.
Then why have you called your festival Fyre 2, you absolute turnip? So these are the coordinates down here. Oh yeah, it is in the sea.
You're taking a risk because I made a lot of bad decisions and messed up the first festival.
Yeah, of course it's a risk. I did a scam before. Imagine if you're going because you love music festivals and they're like, great, you get premium access to the fight pit. You'd be like, what? Hello lovely people, my name is Emma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I'm dizzy. I don't know what, I was getting ready earlier and I stood up and I was like, I'm gonna be sick. I've had some plain crackers, I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm still dizzy, so bear that in mind. I usually do a lot of gesticulating, a lot of crazy head movements. If I look a bit weird today, it's because I'm not doing that because I'm dizzy, okay? I want to talk to you about Fyre 2. I know, I am going crazy lately with current events. What it was is I looked it up. Recently I heard it was coming back and I looked up a couple of articles and now my phone sends me an update basically every single day. Latest news stories from different sources on Fyre 2. And I read all of them, so it keeps sending them to me. So I'm going to share what I've learned with you. If you somehow don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the sequel, such a thing exists in the festival world, to the Fyre Festival, the infamous festival that didn't happen. There were 2 documentaries about it, one on, I believe, Amazon and one on Netflix. I watched both of them. So Fyre Festival, an event created by and sort of managed by a chap called Billy McFarland and Ja Rule, famous rapper, singer. Ja Rule, not associated with Fyre 2. I'm going to use this The Week article to give you a rundown of some of the craziest moments. Billy McFarland, since convicted of fraud related to his running of this festival, wanted to create, allegedly, the next generation of festivals. Super influencer orientated, super nepo baby rich people exclusive event. I think that's the main reason that we all normal people enjoyed watching the disaster so much, because the people that were affected, the innocent festival goers, they were innocent in this event, are like people who are so stonkingly rich that they're kind of disgusting. There's a little bit of schadenfreude in those being the only people affected, and that they weren't really affected in a material way. Like, it was probably a really stressful, day, but essentially it's like a day of bad travel experience. The people who really suffered from this were the staff that were hired to work on Fyre Festival. So here's some of the crazy stuff that went down in the creation of this festival. Billy McFarland pretended to own the island on which the event was supposed to happen. He lied, he does not own an island. The real owner found out that McFarland was touting this island as, famous home of Pablo Escobar, and promptly kicked Fyre Festival out of that venue, leaving them just months to find a new location. Bear that in mind for when we talk about what's happening now with Fyre 2. It's the same thing. It's the same thing but stupider and on even shorter notice. This is a good point actually that I neglected to mention. One of the other groups of victims of Fyre Festival is the people who were hired to work there, cater, etc., who never got paid. In the Fyre documentary, some of the festival organisers accused Bahamans of trying to take matters into their own hands. After the locals realised they weren't going to get paid, some of them started putting out hits on people, consultant Mark Weinstein said. Either to take them hostage and then get ransom, or just to hurt and injure. Citation needed on whether that is true. Blink-182 was supposed to be the headline act, and they pulled out the night before, and nobody thought that was an issue. None of the organisers thought that was an issue. Nobody seemed to care. Both documentaries emphasised that plumbing was a major issue for Fyre Festival. There were just going to be too many people for the island's infrastructure to handle. One internal email meant to calm concerns suggested that the plumbing issue wouldn't be a big deal because no one is eating, so therefore no one's pooping. This is a great one. Again, Billy McFarland, convicted of fraud since Fyre Festival. His first scam was in 2nd grade, when he ran a crayon fixing operation with his friend. I've wondered a lot why he's trying to do a second Fyre Festival, and if he's claiming that it's supposed to be a fresh start, why is he using the branding of Fyre? And part of me wondered if he just doesn't know how to do anything other than scams. He did a scam, he went to prison for doing a scam, he's come out, he's working on basically the same scam again. If he's been doing scams since he was in 2nd grade, I think I might be right. In the midst of the Fyre Festival going up in flames, McFarland admitted to losing a box of keys to more than $2 million worth of houses that elite guests were supposed to stay in. While McFarland was on bail, he launched a new scam. You see what I mean? He knows nothing else. Fraudum ergo sum. I scam, therefore I am. That's the closest I can think of the Latin. Running the operation through a proxy, MacFarlane started NYC VIP Access, which promised impossibly exclusive tickets to people on the former Fyre Festival mailing list. The worst part, court filings indicate that 15 people gave him over $100,000 for such non-existent tickets. Then there's the water-based scandal. A very strange moment in the documentaries, and one of the most memorable. 4 18-wheeler trucks full of water for Fyre guests have been seized by Bahamian Customs over an unpaid import fee of $175,000 because Billy is a fraudster. Here's Andy King explaining the water customs fiasco and how he dealt with it.
Let me tell you something. We had 4 containers filled, 4 18-wheeler trucks filled with Evian water. But I had left the week before for 2 days, and when I came back, I'd missed the big meeting with Customs. And of course, Customs had said to Billy and the gang, you need to pay us $175,000 in cash today for us to release the water. Billy called and said, Andy, we need you to take one big thing for the team. You're our wonderful gay leader, and we need you to go down. Will you suck dick to fix this water problem? And I said, Billy, what? He said, Andy, if you will go down and suck Cunningham's dick, who's the head of Customs, and get him to clear all of the containers with water, you will save this festival. And I literally drove home, took a shower, I drank some mouthwash. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I got into my car to drive across the island to take one for the team. And I got to his office fully prepared to suck his dick. But he couldn't have been nicer. And he's like, Andy, listen, I will release all the water. I will let you serve it. But I want to be one of the first people to be paid this import fee for what you're doing. And I said, okay, great. And I got back and I had all the water that we needed.
So there you go. Andy King, told by Billy McFarland to go and perform some oral services, told to do this because he is the gay member of the team, told to go and perform oral services for the head of customs to release their water. And by Jove, he was gonna do it. Stress of Fyre 2 causing your skin to break out? I have the solution for you thanks to today's sponsor, Geology. If you've not heard me talk about it before, Geology is a now 41-time award-winning personalised skincare brand. They have over 10,000 5-star reviews. I use them every single day. That spot of sunlight is directly in my eye. Geology creates simple and effective skincare routines personalised just for you. Whatever your personal skin needs, whether you're looking to fight acne, reduce oiliness. Geology has what you need, and it's super easy. All you do is take the 60-second diagnostic quiz, tell Geology all about your skin and your goals. Their team of dermatologists will design a personalized routine just for you that is shipped straight to your door. So easy, so majestically easy. Your regimen comes with a little card that explains exactly what the active ingredients are and how they work. You also get this handy-dandy routine card that tells you exactly what to do and when. If that wasn't enough, the products themselves also tell you what to do. First things first, face wash. Very simple. Number 1 in the routine, morning and evening. Tells you exactly how much to use. Super helpful. Number 2 in the morning, tone control Tone control cream with SPF 15. Always protect your skin from the sun, kids. It is a big scary ball of gas. Evening, face wash again, then eye cream, followed by night cream, which also tells you exactly how much to use. Even if you lose the card with the routine on it, and you somehow forget every step of the routine, it literally has the numbers on every single bottle, so you know exactly what to do and when, with no thought. You too can be no thoughts head empty, still having good skin. Scan the QR code, use my link down below, use code EmmaThorne70 to get 70% off your skincare trial set. That is a full month's trial for only $12, plus get a free gift and 50% off add-ons of your choice. I personally don't buy any other skincare products now, I just use my Geology routine. It works wonders for me, I encourage you to try it and see for yourself. Thank you so much for listening and to Geology for sponsoring this video. So in 2018, Billy McFarland was sentenced to 6 years in prison for engaging in multiple fraudulent schemes and making false statements to a federal law agent. Apparently, McFarlane borrowed as much as $7 million in an effort to fund the festival, taking one loan with an effective annualized rate of 120%. Obviously, McFarlane defaulted on the loan and the lender sued. In 2017, organisers Billy McFarland and Ja Rule were sued in a class action lawsuit for $100 million. In addition to the class action lawsuit, 6 federal and 4 individual lawsuits were filed in relation to the scheme. As mentioned earlier, while he was on bail, he committed a new scam, the NYC VIP access. In March 2018, he pled guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud and admitted to using fake documents to attract investors to put more than $26 million into his company. He agreed to forfeit $26 million. In June 2018, he was charged with selling fraudulent tickets to events such as the Met Gala, Burning Man, and Coachella. While out on bail, there's even, to his chagrin, video footage of this happening that appears in the Netflix Fyre documentary. Man cannot help himself. While he was in prison, he was sentenced for 6 years. While Billy was in prison, he tried to make a podcast and write a book using audio notes, but complained that those things were not allowed. That brings us to Fyre Festival 2. According to McFarland, from the moment he was released from prison, he did a short period under house arrest, I believe, like less than a year. From the moment he was released from prison, he started working on Fyre 2. Here is an exclusive from NBC News from the Today Show, an interview with Billy McFarland explaining what we can expect from Fyre 2.
Fyre 2 is real. My dream is finally becoming a reality.
Isn't it fantastic when you have to open by saying, this event is real? It's like I started my YouTube channel. I'm trying to appeal to people and I'm like, first of all, this channel is real? You'd be like, hold on a second.
No one can get in the room.
Leaving attendees who'd been expecting a glamorous music festival, sleeping in emergency relief tents and eating cheese sandwiches.
Okay, how long till water comes?
The failed festival even gaining global attention with streaming.
I don't know why I guess because these are such bougie, nepo baby rich kids that this became a thing, but they were really bitchy about having, like, cheese sandwiches. Like, some small catering company who the boss literally paid, like, $50,000 out of her own savings to her employees because Fyre Festival never paid her. So they got cheese sandwiches. And, like, the news was like, this was one of the controversies, that they got these cheese sandwiches and the photos and it's like, it's a cheese sandwich. It's got some salad in it and bread. Like, I don't know why that was such a drama. I can only think it's because these people were so bougie, they've never seen anything that isn't, like, 5-star gourmet restaurant presented. The schadenfreude is real with Fyre Festival. You can tell that I don't feel a lot of sympathy for the people who bought tickets to this festival, especially given the last minute headline artists pulling out, the location change when the guy hosting the festival is bragging about how you can be like Pablo Escobar for a couple of days. Like, do you know who Pablo Escobar was? The people who paid for tickets to this, well, they didn't suffer that much, and I don't think we should be too worried about them.
Documentaries showcasing the debacle.
The biggest event in a decade, I promise you.
Its founder, Billy McFarland, who spent 4 years behind bars for fraud, says,
look, I'm going to be really rude in this video. Blame it on me being, like, ill. Something's wrong with me. I'm really dizzy, okay? If I come out super harsh, let's just agree to blame that. But doesn't Billy McFarland look like a twat? It's like, do you ever read the twits? Where it's like, you know, you can be ugly, but if you're a lovely person, that will always shine through your face and you'll look like a good person. Whereas you can start off as beautiful and attractive as whatever, but if you're a evil, nasty person, I don't think he's evil, I think he's an idiot and a scam artist, you look like a twat. And Billy McFarland is like a great example of that. When he's there in his little cap and he's like, this festival's gonna be so lit, you're like, man, that guy looks like a twat. And then it turns out he is. And we're all vindicated on our biased surface level judgments.
It's back and will actually happen safely this time. McFarland sat down exclusively with NBC News, revealing the festival's exact location, Isla Mujeres, Mexico, and new dates, May 30th to June 2nd, pushed back by a month.
We just needed the extra month to give our partners time to get everything ready.
Using partners is new this time around. McFarland is no longer handling the details. A major festival operator is on board, along with
a huge improvement. When I first read about this, because we're going to get into how it's already failing in a minute. But when I first read about this, I was like, okay, this all seems much more sensible. Hopefully no fraud. Don't know how a convicted fraudster who has done nothing but commit scams and be convicted in federal court over those scams. No idea how he's getting this money. No idea who's investing. Would love to know who's investing. But working with a big festival partner on the details, a company who does that as a job and has experience in that, doing it in a city that has, you know, if there's a disaster, at least there are hotels nearby, at least there are places people can get food nearby. Nobody's going to be stranded on an island, right, where there's only one small plane shuttling people back and forth. That just makes so much more sense. How wrong can Fyre 2 really go in this scenario? And I still think that's a much better way of doing it, but just hold off until we get to up to today's latest edition of the news. I'm talking a lot of nonsense shit today. I don't think I'm very well. Let's just see this interview.
With hotel and travel partners and ticketing companies.
Why do you think those partners agreed to partner with you, given what happened
Great
the first
question.
time?
Fyre 2 really isn't about the past, and it's not really about me. It's about taking the vision, which is strong.
See, this is what I mean. Fyre 2 is not really about the past. Then why have you called your festival Fyre 2, you absolute turnip?
This morning, just $2,000 in total, ranging in price from $1,400 to $1.1 million.
If you spend that much money on a ticket for a convicted fraudster, a multiple-time fraudster, I don't feel that much sympathy for you if you do get scammed. If you've got $1 million to throw around and you're giving it to a convicted scammer who did a scam festival before, and you're giving it to him for a dodgy-looking festival now, clearly it's not going to impact your life very much if you get scammed this time.
An experience MacFarlane says includes yacht accommodations and access to artists performing, though no artists have been announced yet.
So we're going to have...
They still haven't, by the way. This is a month ago, right? This is the news as it stood on Fyre 2 a month ago. Still no artists.
Artists across electronic, hip-hop, pop, and rock. However, it's not just music. We might have a professional skateboarder do a demonstration. We might have an MMA champion teach you techniques in the morning. And
we might have a monkey giving an oration on the meaning of existence. We could have anything. We might have me beatboxing into a microphone. We might have a karaoke machine and nobody else shows up. We might have anything. We might have an astronaut come tell us about how cool space is. We might have a dog who can talk. We might have anything. If wishes were fishes, Billy, we'd have some fried. Insane.
You say we might have. Are any of these for?
I didn't elaborate because I was like, this seems like a good interviewer. I'm going to give her the opportunity to ask the questions that are immediately coming to my mind, and she's doing it. Love her.
For sure halves? Are they booked?
So I think what makes Fyre so cool is that we are selling the experience of Fyre. I want to be one of the first festivals that can sell out with no artists.
But you do have them booked.
We're announcing the artists over the next few months, so I'm not in charge of booking the talent.
Will these be A-list names that are involved?
I really hope so, and I expect so from our conversations.
But whether
TLDR, I don't know. We could have this. I said to the festival booking people, I said to the talent managing people, it would be awesome if we could have like some A-list singers from different like music genres. It'd be cool if we could have like a skateboarder doing tricks. And they don't let me into the meetings, so I still don't know who we're gonna have. Honestly, props for whoever's actually running the festival to go over Billy McFarland's head and not tell him anything. Just leave him out of it. It's gonna be best for everyone.
MacFarlane will see any of this firsthand, an open question, because part of his penalty restricts his travel.
Can you go to Mexico?
So I don't know. I have to be okay with mentally maybe watching a live stream from my computer and crying a little bit. I have to ask for international travel. It's 2,000 people taking the risk, seeking the adventure, and wanting to be there for the moment.
Taking the risk. Is it a risk to buy a ticket to Fyre Festival too?
I think it's always a risk. You're taking a risk because I made a lot of bad decisions and messed up the first festival until it's...
At least he's honest. Buying tickets to my new festival is a risk because I did a scam festival before and it was really bad. So if you buy a ticket, it's risky. At least he's honest.
It's experience. There is a risk component to it.
So now a minimum of $500,000 from this Fyre Fest will go toward the $26 million in restitution that MacFarlane
He still owes $26 million. She's so good. Savannah Sellers? Is that her name? She's so good. I love that she's like trying not to giggle at the end at him just being like, yeah, of course it's a risk. I did a scam before. I love it. So location drama. A month ago, I presume before that interview was recorded, there was a little bit of news. So, as we heard, according to Billy, Fyre 2 is going to take place on Isla Mujeres, an island off Cancun, Mexico. Then the local government of Isla Mujeres came out and said, I don't know anything about this. We don't even know. Edgar Gasca from the Tourism Directorate of Isla Mujeres told The Guardian, we have no knowledge of this event, nor contact with any person or company about it. For us, this is an event that does not exist. It's not even Billy organising the locations and stuff. Maybe the only thing he's responsible for is the locations, and that's why this has fallen apart. But he's working with other companies, and they still can't, talk to a local government, say, we'd love to have an event here, let's get the ball rolling, let's start ticking paperwork. Can we have it here, and then let's fill it in. Gasca was at a tourism fair in Bogota. I'm going to pronounce all of these names so wrong. I'm so sorry. Remember, I'm ill. Maybe. I'm probably actually fine. But, for purposes of sounding like an idiot throughout this video, I'm ill, alright? I could be dying, for all you know. Gasca was at a tourism fair in Bogota, Colombia, with other officials from Isla Mujeres when they were blindsided by the Fyre Festival announcement. Stop publicly announcing locations only for the government to come in and say, what are you talking about? Gasca said he had spoken with the Minister for Tourism in the state of Quintana Roo and also the hotels that Fyre listed as accommodation for guests on the website, and none of them had heard about the festival. Not just the local government hasn't been consulted, and they've announced the location, but they've said that they're partnering with this and that hotel, and the hotels don't know anything about it. He was just going to commit another fraud. He was just going to do another scam. You can't do that. You can't just host a festival without getting the local government's approval. Atenea Gomez Recalde, municipal president of Isla Mujeres, said she knew nothing more about the festival than what was online. People are trying to use the peace and tranquility we have created here for their own benefit, she added. Yes, spicy. The organisers didn't even bother to approach the authorities. It's very strange, because any manager knows that if you're going to hold an event, let alone a massive event, you need municipal authorisation. She says, I think they thought they would just announce it and see if it got traction, then ask for the permits halfway down the path. It's a bit of a naive way to think. It's an insane way to think. The only person who could think that way is a convicted fraudster, who is just moving on to his next scam. I was going to say his third scam, but this would probably be like his fourth official scam, and judging by his second grade crayon scam, this could be scam number 2000 for all we know. Since the event was receiving so much media attention, the local government put out a public denial saying that no permit had been requested. So strange. Again, just feels like a scam, like the tactic is to straight up deny reality. It's like the Fyre Festival team, the Fyre 2 team, is trying to gaslight the entire world. They're trying to gaslight local governments and hotel owners. Listen to this. The organisers of Fyre have since sent a statement to The Guardian claiming to be in contact with local authorities and asserting that the festival will go ahead. Even though we've just heard that the local authorities have no idea what you're talking about and neither do any of the hotels from the website. We're producing a highly exclusive, boutique and sustainable experience for Fyre Festival 2 set for May 30th to June 2nd, 2025, said Lost Nights, the producers behind the event. Fyre Festival 2 has secured top-tier private venues and hotels in partnership with our local allies who have established communications with the corresponding authorities to ensure full compliance and flawless execution. Then why are the government denying that this is an event that exists? It almost sounds to me like we're talking to people who are going to talk to people in the appropriate authorities. We're going to talk to people that deal with the hotels. We're going to talk to people that deal with the local governmental authority. But before actually moving forward into talking to those authorities, they've just announced it all. So the actual authorities are now gonna be skittish, especially when they look it up and find that, oh, this is trending because there was a massive scam festival before, and then they're gonna say no. I think that's why they put it off, but I don't know why they thought it would go through easier later. The process here boggles my mind, unless he's just trying to do a new scam. And it seems like he's not that good at scams. He's good enough to get the money. It's just, he's later convicted and then owes back all the money. The organisers did not respond to follow-up questions. I wonder why. Are you gaslighting us? asks The Guardian. Gaska's got some more funny comments. This festival is not going to happen, said Gaska. There are red flags all over the place. If you go on their website and take the coordinates they provide, then put them in Google Maps, it takes you to the ocean between Cancun and Isla Mujeres. Gaska added, laughing incredulously, the only appropriate response to this fucking nonsense. So that was a month ago. This is today's news, today being April 4th, so this will be about a week out of date for you. In fact, by the time this video comes out, there'll probably be like 10 new dramas between me recording this and the video coming out. So after the whole Isla Mujeres drama, where the city officials said, no, this isn't happening here, actually, Billy McFarland came out and said, actually, it's going to happen nearby in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Playa del Carmen City Hall released an announcement on April 3rd saying, no such event with that name will take place in our city. There is no existence of a registry nor plans that would indicate such an event taking place in this municipality. I really struggled to say municipality then. Isla Mujeres fell through because they just never contacted officials, and the government came out, the local government came out and said, this isn't happening. And they also said, the event's not going to go through. Look at all the red flags. This is ridiculous. And they're trying to take advantage of our peaceful, beautiful way of life here. So he changed it quickly without saying very much about the change to a nearby city. The local authorities in the new city Playa have also come out and said, no, there's nothing like that happening here either. We should have someone, just a representative of the entirety of Mexico, like events management or something, just be like, this isn't happening in our country. This festival is not happening anywhere in Mexico.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have an
Billy.
important Fyre update and news regarding the talent performing at Fyre 2. First, I am so grateful to be bringing together 1,800 people who not only have the courage to take a chance on me, but have the courage to prove the impossible possible and the courage to...
1,800, if he really has sold 1,800 tickets, that's 1,800 people who have money to throw around and are coming with their cameras hoping to make the next big Fyre documentary scandal or viral Fyre Festival fail video. That's what I believe.
To be a part of history. Before we get into the lineup news, I need to discuss what happened this week.
Please do.
On Thursday, we hosted a press conference at the Martina Beach Club, which is one of the official venues for Fyre 2. Our production, venue, and hospitality partners and the government were all there and all spoke on their plans for Fyre 2. This week, we will begin to release the lineup. We'll have DJs, rappers, reggae artists, pop stars, but also athletes, divers, models, pilots, and creators who will lead the experiences for our guests. Fyre is all about these intimate experiences. We'll have dozens of artists in a private party-like setting. Fyre is all about the people you'll meet, the memories you'll make, and the stories that you will be able to tell for the rest of your life.
He never specifies that those stories or memories will be positive. So he could be completely accurate there.
Guys, Fyre 2 can only happen once. Once it's sold out, that's...
Is there not a shred of irony in saying Fyre 2 can only happen once? This dream festival of mine can only happen once. This is Fyre 2, because I fucked it up massively the first time. By fucked it up, I mean scammed everyone, because I'm a scammer.
That's it. There's no wait list, and just like the battle I'm fighting every day, there are no more chances. If you and your friends...
Hosting an event's got to be a lot of work, right? That's why people do that sort of thing as a job. That's why you can hire people who manage events, because it's such a crazy difficult thing. But if this is like your dream event, calling every day working for it a battle feels like a red flag to me. So basically, once again, MacFarlane has said, it's going to be fine, it's going to happen, we're going to have great guests. That's the latest updates, exactly the same as all the other latest updates. So the latest information we have, Billy says that they had a press conference, and yet the latest information we seem to have from Playa is the city officials saying, no, it's not happening. So what the fuck is going on, Billy? Oh, this must be the conference then.
Where the music festival
This is from today again.
Playa del Carmen is insanely beautiful.
Just last week, creator Billy McFarland told customers the sequel to the doomed 2017 Fyre Festival was being moved to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. But now city council officials there are refuting the city will host the event, writing in a statement, no such event with that name will take place in our city, adding there is no existence of a registry nor plans that would indicate such an event taking.
I'm thinking of that. I saw this on a reel on Instagram, I think, where it's a German train announcer trying her best to describe. She's like, I'm not sure how to say this in English, but our train has a problem because the people who do the train signals don't think that we exist, but we do exist. That's like what this battle between Billy and local governments in Mexico. like we do exist, fire's gonna happen, and the government officials being like, this does not exist. It's not happening. The limit does not exist.
Taking place in this municipality.
Our relationships with Playa may be new, but I know I speak for the rest of the team when I say we couldn't ask for a better group of people.
The statement coming just days after MacFarlane, his team, and a member of the local government held a press conference saying the festival there was a go.
We are very happy to have this festival in Mexico, in Playa del Carmen. We already have permits, so this is going to be very successful.
NBC News reached out to City Hall in Playa del Carmen for further clarification.
Is Billy McFarland just lying to some of their partners? Like they've told this guy who owns this property that yes, we have the permits? Or do they have like specific permits for something but not permits to hold the event? Like I'm just trying to work out how these two completely what's the word? I'm having such a brain fog today. There's an exclusivity between the two things, right? Only one of these statements can be true. It either is happening here and we've got the permits, or there's nothing on the registry, there's nothing happening here with that name, we're not aware of any event like that, it's not going to happen. Only one of those can be true. How are people saying both? And obviously, instinctively, I'm inclined not to believe the guy who's done a big scam before that had massive location issues, especially when this is the second location in a very short time away from when the festival is supposed to actually happen, because he recently moved location because the local government in their previous location said they never applied to do an event here, this event isn't happening here, and then they moved. So obviously we're going to believe the local player government that says, no, this isn't happening here.
So we reached out to the team from Fyre 2 about this latest statement from Playa del Carmen, but we did not hear back. We also reached out to that government official from Playa del Carmen that was part of the press conference this week, and we are still waiting to hear back as well, guys.
Savannah, besides obviously the venue chaos, is there anything else that the organizers are trying to sort out?
The lineup?
Yes, Craig, most certainly. The lineup. Who is going to perform? No artists have been announced at this point. They tell us that's coming soon, but we're still waiting to see.
So, the government official that was there has yet to respond. The organisers have yet to respond. Let's just take a look at the Fyre 2 website, which, by the way, takes fucking forever to load. It's got a big fancy loading bar because it takes so long to load. So that's for me, if a event has a bad website, that's a red flag. So these are the coordinates down here. Should I do what that city official suggested and have a plug that into Google Maps? Oh yeah, it is in the sea. Maybe it's in the sea because they're focusing on this yacht accommodation thing. Although if they've still not secured the location, surely they can't have secured the yachts yet, right? Do you think Billy McFarland knows this is going to be a disaster and is hoping for a second, a new documentary? He's hoping that this will just make him semi-famous again and he will write a book or do a podcast or something. No, we want to talk about you. We want to talk about you and your mistakes. We don't want to hear from you, the scammer who keeps lying, because you lie all the time. So tickets. Ignite, general access. Fuego, elevated experience. Phoenix, create the fire. Ludicrously priced, obviously. If there's no artists and accommodations public yet, no wonder he says this is a risk. You don't know what you're paying for on the different tickets. I just clicked on it. It doesn't say... Oh, here we go. Okay. Ignite. Access includes access to the festival grounds through Playa del Carmen. Transport will be provided in Playa del Carmen from our partner hotel locations and other gathering points in our provided shuttle service. Grants 4-day access to Fyre Festival for one person. Defy the impossible alongside some of the most fascinating people in the world. These options are a la carte and must be purchased as add-ons. So this doesn't include any experiences, is what that's trying to say. So it should say no fire experiences, really, on this description. Commercial flights are readily available in and out of Cancun International Airport. Private flights are also available. Ignite tickets do not include accommodations. So all it includes is access. Ignite is just access to the festival, but you can't do anything in the festival without paying extra for it. Okay, fine. Fuego, then. It's so weird to be scrolling up to read more information. I'm finding this very confusing. Access to the festival ground. Transportation. Fire experiences must be purchased as add-ons. Commercial flights are available. Fuego tickets do not include accommodations. Fuego attendees might get discounted rates at the hotels. So you might get a hotel discount, but otherwise there's no difference between the $1,500 and the $5,000 ticket. Scam, 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 scam. Scam, scam, scam. There's no reason to buy a $3,500 more expensive ticket. It gives you nothing extra. Maybe a discount on accommodation, but there's no way the discount is going to be worth $3,500. What can that be other than just a scam to make people pay more money for another ticket? All right, $25,000 US. Phoenix. Access includes access to the festival grounds, backstage access to the water stage, pit-side access to the fight pit? The fight pit? Is this some underground boxing ring shit? What are you talking about? A curated itinerary of fire experiences, Phoenix transportation, what, you get your own shuttle? Access to the fire concierge? I thought everyone could contact the concierge. It said that on everyone so far. So this gives you 4-day access for 2 people. The fire experiences will be released in a number of experiential drops leading up to the festival, of which several will be included in Phoenix packages, but not all. So some of the experiences you're still going to have to pay for separately. What a scammer, scammy scam. No, I'm alleging that potentially, maybe, because I don't want to get sued by Billy McFarland. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? I reckon this might end up being a scam. Phoenix attendees will stay amongst the artists and other performing talent. Oh, here we go. Complimentary luxury accommodations for 2 in the fire artist area for 3 nights. Okay, so you get accommodation. It's $20,000 more expensive than the previous ticket, which doesn't give you any more than the $1,500 ticket. So at least you get something. At least you get your accommodation. Luxury accommodations are a choice between a private luxury villa by Nemesis Group or hotel suite at Shabla Maroma. Both options will contain a minimum of 1 king bed or 2 double beds at the guest choice. Private ground transportation to and from the Cancun airport will be provided. The fire concierge will reach out to these purchases to assist. So if you buy any ticket, you can reach out to the concierge to help you with accommodation and stuff. But if you buy the Phoenix ticket, the concierge will reach out to you. And that's supposed to be a bonus. This is ludicrous, dude. Hold on. What's Prometheus? 1.1. These are the $1 million tickets. $1.1 million tickets. Prometheus obviously being the titan who gifted humanity fire. You know, congratulations, Fyre Festival. That's a pretty nifty name. Phoenix as well, reborn from the ashes in fire. That's pretty good names, at least. The prices might be completely absurd, and the rewards you actually get are not only spurious at this point, you don't even know what what you're getting access to, and don't seem worth the increased prices of more expensive tickets, but at least the names are kind of appropriate and cool, huh? Silver linings. The Fire Prometheus package grants 4-day Prometheus access for 8 people. So at least your $1 million is split amongst 8 people. Access includes access to the festival grounds, access to water stage, fight team access at the fight pit. I still don't fucking... Imagine if you're going because you love music festivals and they're like, great, you get premium access to the fight pit. You'd be like, what? I was hoping I could... listen to some music from some top artists, and they're like, yeah, but the fight pit. Still don't know what the fuck the water stage is. Is it going to be a stage on the water? We just don't know. That's why buying a ticket is a risk, and it's a risk that Billy is willing for you to take. A curated itinerary of fire experiences, 24/7 private chauffeur service, dedicated on-site concierge, and access to the marina. Doesn't seem worth $1 million, but at least you do get a few things with this package, as opposed to the other packages where you just sort of get to go in. And then question mark. The fire experiences will be released in a number of experiential drops. Prometheus pass holders will travel by private air charter on a round trip from Miami to Cancun. So you get your you get your travel properly included in this. You'd kind of hope that you get everything included in the $1 million package. So if this happens, if it goes ahead and this is what they actually get, then, you know, that's something. Prometheus guests will live like the gods of fire. Prometheus accommodation options include the choice of a 4-stateroom yacht, a 4-bedroom villa, which is not really that extravagant considering this is for like 8 people, or a 3-bedroom presidential suite. So I guess that's for if you're paying but you're not bringing 8 people, if you're not trying to pinch your pennies on the $1 million, which they're probably not. The people buying these tickets are probably not worried about saving money, splitting it between the maximum number of people. You also only get 3 nights, even though it's a 4-day festival. So on the last day of the festival, however crazy if you've had this crazy experience and you've partied and lived it large, you can't sleep off the festival on the last night. You got to get out. You got to sort out your trip home. Those are the packages, ranging from $1.5 thousand to $1 million. I thought the 1.5K was already a bit overpriced, but shows what I know. Tell me how it works. Choose your ticket package, book your stay, enhance your festival experiences. Well, that does not have as much detail as I was hoping. Oh, host an experience? They still have this on the website, even though it's supposed to be happening in a month? We are looking for bespoke, high-thrill and immersive experiences. I mean, yeah, these experiences would be great, but you shouldn't still be looking. I mean, they must still be looking because they haven't fucking announced anything yet, right? Can I get a refund for my Fyre purchase? No. Of course you can't. All sales are final. Of course you can't get a refund. This is a scam. This is a quote-unquote scam. Okay, don't sue me. So basically where we're at now is just confusion. Allegedly, the artists and or event hosts, because people are going to be doing potentially whale diving and I don't know, whale spotting, I don't know. Mixology, you'd think that would be an easier one to secure somebody for, especially because they've got that Marina Beach location already. It's all sorted, it's all coming, according to Billy, even though Billy is saying without saying that they haven't verified all the artists yet, because they've not released any. I think even if they had one guaranteed big artist on file, they would have announced it, right? And they still haven't released any, so don't know how much I believe that. And then we have, again, the Playa, local officials saying, no event of this name is happening here, it's not real, we don't know what's going on. So that's Fyre 2, as it stands. Will it happen? Fucking who knows? Will it be like the first Fyre Festival, where something technically does happen, but the something is temporary emergency accommodations and cheese sandwiches, and that's it? And then $26 million of debt for Billy McFarland, and 4 years in prison. I just don't know why, again, unless somebody is stupid rich and is hoping that they can go with camera and crew and catch firsthand, you know, the Fyre 2 disaster. No one else why would anyone go? You don't even know what you're getting yet. Allegedly, according to Billy, 1,800 tickets have already sold out. But their website's still asking for hosts that, like, want to hold events at the festival. And again, the local government says this isn't happening. Like, why have any tickets sold? Have any tickets sold? Do I believe him? The thing that makes this so difficult is that this is a convicted fraudster trying to do the same thing that he got convicted of fraud for before. And he's admitted at least that it's a risk. So it's like, why would we believe anything that he says? All we can do is wait and see. Eventually, the date's going to roll around, whatever date it ends up being pushed back to. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it back again. I mean, I feel like they should, given that there's not even an artist lineup yet. And again, the location is really up in the air. Like, eventually it has to come around and then we'll find out what happened. And my hope is that it just doesn't happen. Everybody gets their money back. We all go, okay, Billy McFarland, scammer, not going to trust any of his ventures anymore, and the man fades into obscurity. Because he seems like a twat. And that's all my thoughts on Fyre 2 and the latest dramas as they stand. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a sympathy like. I'm very dizzy. If you like what I do here and you want to support this channel, do check out Geology using the link down below. That helps me out. You can also consider becoming a channel member. You get some goofy little emotes and comment priority. Best way to support this channel is via the Patreon. With that, I would like to give a big old thank you and a shout out to my giant chickens and colossal quackers over on Patreon. Especially Conla. God damn it, Conla. Most importantly, have yourselves a very lovely week, and I will see you really soon.